Hello, tonight's film looks at Brazil and its music through the eyes and voice of its greatest songwriter and poet, Caetano Veloso, whose memoir, Tropical Truth, is published this week. Born in the small colonial town of Santo Amaro in the province of Bahia in northeastern Brazil, Veloso later moved to the Bahian capital of Salvador, where he met his lifelong friend and collaborator, Gilberto Gil. Together, they created a movement called Tropicalia in the late 60s, which revolutionized music and culture in Brazil before they were arrested by the military dictatorship and forced into temporary exile in London. Their music had become the voice of revolutionary politics. Gerald Fox's film begins on a moving soundstage during Carnival in Salvador, while Caetano is performing with Gil, who'd just been made the Brazilian Minister of Culture.
I love the huge crowds during Carnival, and I love the songs and the noise and the atmosphere. I love it all.
É a lua, é o sol, é a luz do dia, eita, eita, eita. Eita, 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 eita. É a lua, é o sol, é a luz do dia, eita, eita, eita. Eita, 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 eita. É a lua, é o sol, é a luz do dia, eita, eita, eita. Eita, eita, eita. É a lua, é o sol, é a luz do dia, eita, eita, eita.
I was happy to be with Gil. You know, he had been made Minister of Culture in Brazil, and I had not been with him after that. And there was the place where I talked to my friend who's a minister now.
The president asked me to be the minister. And provide that I feel myself very supportive to what he is and what he is intending to do, I judged carefully the invitation, and I decided to say yes.
The trio elétrico, this moving stage, you can put whatever you want on top of it. It was invented by two guys of Bahia, very naive guys. They just wanted to play along, and so people can surround the trio and dance on the streets for free. And the importance was that they could absorb all type of music and put it on this way of trio, on carnival music.
Atrás do trio elétrico só não vai quem já morreu, quem já botou pra rachar. Aprendeu que é do outro lado, do lado de lá, do lado que é lá, do lado de lá. Atrás do trio elétrico só não vai quem já morreu, quem já botou pra rachar. Aprendeu que é do outro lado, do lado de lá, do lado que é lá, do lado de lá. O sol é seu, o som é meu, quero morrer já. O som é seu, o sol é meu, quero viver lá. Nem quero saber se o diabo nasceu foi na Bahia, foi na Bahia. O trio elétrico, o sol rompeu no meio-dia, no meio-dia. Atrás do trio elétrico só não vai quem já morreu, quem já botou pra rachar. Aprendeu que é do outro lado, do lado de lá, do lado que é lá, do lado de lá. Atrás do trio elétrico só não vai quem já morreu, quem já botou pra rachar. Aprendeu que é do outro lado, do lado de lá, do lado que é lá, do lado de lá. O sol é seu, o som é meu, quero morrer já. O som é seu, o sol é meu, quero viver lá. Nem quero saber se o diabo nasceu foi na Bahia, foi na Bahia. O trio elétrico só rompeu no meio-dia, no meio-dia.
Bahia is a pretty special place in Brazil because Brazil started in Bahia. What we call now Brazil was invented in Bahia because the first Portuguese people who arrived in the Americas, they stopped in Bahia. And the first capital of the new country has been Salvador de Bahia. So, on the other hand, the majority of black people in Brazil live in Bahia. And the traditions they brought from Africa, their ancestors brought from Africa, mostly religious and musical traditions, have been incredibly well preserved along the centuries.
Mais uma vez! Sou da paz, sou da paz, sou da paz, sou da paz. Então, desarme o medo, desarme a mão, desarme a alma, desarme o coração, desarme o medo, desarme a mão, desarme a alma, desarme o coração.
There are still some religious rituals in better state of conservation in Bahia nowadays than in the African areas from which they came, which is also something that adds to this special atmosphere of the city of Salvador. So, during Carnival, these things show their presence through this very pop language. For me, it's reaffirmation of life every year. It's happy, but it's not too excited. It's serene. It's really, and it's dignified without being looking like defiant. You know, it's like we are happy, we are dignified, and we are sure about it. That's why I feel good. Because, you know, we are poor. ceremonies, they affect my music because they affect my person. Because I grew up here. I was born in this part of the country and near this town in this state. And this kind of thing is what, gives to us the idea what life is about. So when I see it reaffirming itself and changing a little bit without changing the essence of it, I am reassured of many things. So my music responds. Everything in me responds to that.
Maybe trouble ahead. So while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance. Before the fiddlers have fled, before they ask us to pay the bill, and while we still have a chance, let's face the music and dance. Soon we'll be without the moon, humming a different tune. There may be teardrops to shed. So while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance, dance. Let's face the music and dance.
Bahia is a founding place. Naturally, that land became kind of enchanted land in terms of this Brazilian spirit. It has the Brazilian spirit, and it enhances the whole country, spreads that kind of atmosphere, all over the country.